Good morning. My name is Indarto. I am from Amikom University of Yogyakarta. Thank you for the opportunity given to us to present our paper. Today I will present the paper. The title is Mortality Prediction Using Data Mining Classification Techniques in Patients with Hemorrhagic Stroke. WHO announced that the most non-communicable diseases are cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease are heart disease and stroke. Non-communicable disease became a major cause of death in the world. 17.9 million deaths, or 31% of total deaths. One third is a big problem. In 2017, stroke becomes the third cause of death in the world. Compared with 1990, stroke is ranked fifth. How about in Indonesia? Riset Kesehatan Dasar Riskesdas report that non-communicable diseases increase. Non-communicable diseases are diabetes, hypertension, joint disease, and cardiovascular diseases. WHO for Indonesian in 2016, with total population 260 million and total deaths 1,863,000. NCDs are estimated to account for 73% of all deaths, and the proportional mortality, 35%, is cardiovascular disease, include stroke and cardiac disease. At the other side, that stroke is the number one cause of death at the hospital. It is different with cardiac disease. If they have heart attack, maybe cannot save before to hospital. But stroke patients have a bigger chance to save to the hospital as inpatient. The another problem is stroke is the number one cause of disability in the world. As we know, when the stroke patient get well, they have a difficult to walk. Sometimes they have difficult to talk, difficult to think, difficult to eat, and etc. They have difficult to do activity daily life. At this picture, we can see difference between ischemic stroke and hemorrhagic stroke. In CT scan images, ischemic stroke shown by hypodense part and hemorrhagic stroke shown by hyperdense part. Hemorrhagic stroke has a higher mortality than ischemic stroke. Incident ischemic stroke is bigger than hemorrhagic stroke. Hemorrhagic stroke about 9 to 27% of stroke in the world. But hemorrhagic stroke have a bigger mortality than ischemic stroke. So stroke is a major health problem in Indonesia and the world. Hemorrhagic stroke has high mortality rate. And there is no much data mining research on predicting mortality in hemorrhagic stroke. For this reason, we want to predict mortality of patients with hemorrhagic stroke. Because mortality prediction is meaningful aspect of physician decision. Mortality prediction in patients with hemorrhagic stroke improve the patient improve the precision to determine the prognosis sign, the patient admission, mortality prediction in patient, improve the patient to determine target treatments. Is it need intensive care room or not? And mortality prediction, improve the precision to prepare patient and families. It is very important to have a good communication between physician and patient or their family. According to the Gardner Group, data mining is a process of finding correlation, patterns, and tendencies that are meant to sort out a number of large data that is stored in the repository by using technology recognition pattern as well as engineering statistical and mathematics. Data mining used to build a model that create an algorithm that is quick to use the data and then apply the model with new data. Data mining algorithm is a tool to transform the data into information. Stroke. Stroke is condition characterized by disruption of cerebral blood flow caused by obstruction of blood vessel or hemorrhage that happen suddenly and result in cerebral dysfunction. There are two types of stroke: ischemic stroke and hemorrhagic stroke. Ischemic stroke occur when obstruction by thrombus or embolism, and hemorrhagic stroke occur due to the rupture of brain blood vessel. Symptom and sign of stroke may vary depending on which part of the brain is affected, including weakness of left, right side of the body, sometimes weakness of arm or leg, face dropping, disordered speech, dizziness, spinning headaches, and a decrease of consciousness and others. It depends on which part of the brain is affected. We get to studies that using data mining classification techniques. The first study is IC Hostetter et al. Use a decision tree algorithm to predict death, functional outcome, and ventriculoperitoneal shunt dependency. Prediction accuracy for survival on day 1 was 75.2%. And the second study is Almadani. Almadani used three data mining algorithms: Decision tree C4.5, GRIPE, and multi-layer perceptron to predict stroke. Almadani used dataset contain 968 records, and attribute selection was enforced to cut data dimensionality. Methodology: collect data. Data option from the hospital stroke registry in Yogyakarta from the date January 1st, 2014 to December 31st, 2018. We asked neurologists to give consideration in selecting patient data, which included hemorrhagic stroke and variable to be studied. Subject divided into two classes: the class 349 records and live class 980 records. Pre-processing data, we get missing value at each attribute. There is four value that is empty, so we perform replace the missing values. And attribute selection, we use correlation-based feature selection. To build model, we use three algorithm: C 4.5, GRAP, and MLP. And to validation, we study using tenfold cross-validation and confusion metric to construct and evaluate a model. The result, number of attribute before attribute selection is 19 attribute, and after attribute selection is 9 attributes. The number of attribute becomes half. Result prediction models indicated that GRAP has the highest accuracy, followed by G48, then MLP. After selection attribute selection, the prediction model performance increase for algorithm G48 and MLP, whereas the performance of GRIP is slightly decreased compared to before. And the highest accuracy generated by G48. After the attribute selection applied, the time that is needed to make the model become shortened. Time to take G48 become 1.1 times, GRIP 1.5 times, and MLP 2.6 times faster. Decision tree can produce high performance and is able to break down into rule set and construct a tree structure. The biggest gain will be in the first node. In the figure, the first node is the length of stay. Length of stay known after the patient end of services, but the physician need early as possible. So loss consciousness and gastrointestinal bleeding is the early determinant to stroke mortality. By knowing the factor that influence the mortality of stroke patient, action can be taken to overcome the related problem that threaten the patient life. In discussion, we compare previous study with the result. The accuracy of this study was higher compared to Hostetler study. It was caused by Hostetler data sets contain variable with missing values, but we don't know how many missing values. In this study, attribute selection can improve the performance of G40I and MLP classification and shorten time to process data. It's suitable with study by Amadani. The conclusion, the result of this study shown that data mining algorithm can predict the outcome of patients with hemorrhagic stroke, represented as mortality risk. And this research shown that dysentery C4.5 is efficient data mining classification technique to predict the mortality of hemorrhagic stroke. Thank you.